content. I was not clear with the objective tone that was explained.
Which is this? Which question?
Objective tone that should be used in writing. Like I
Objective
understood the idea.
tone. Okay. Objective tone. Got it.
Yeah, I understood the
See,
idea that it should be the emphasis should be more on ideas, not on people. But in the graded assignment, there was a question. I could not identify whether it used objective tone or not.
What was the question in graded assignment?
Just a second. It was a simple letter. It started
Could
like
be a mail, I think.
I'm just opening.
Okay.
Yeah. It is an email. It started with I'm writing this to inform you so something.
Yes. Yeah. So what's the doubt in that? What did you not understand? Why did you not understand if it is objective tone?
Yeah, I thought that as it started with I'm writing this and so and so, and at the end of the email also it was stated like you can reach out to me in case of any further issues or something like that. So as there was emphasis on the pronoun I, so I thought it is not using an objective tone.
Oh, no. So you've got it wrong. Okay. So objective
tone,
I think the lecture also mentions about the email, if I am not wrong. See, in professional communication, particularly, you also have domains like email writing and letter writing, right? So these are usually one-on-one communication. So when you are writing a one-on-one communication, or particularly say you're not addressing an organization or institution as such, but people within the organization, there is no way you can avoid personal pronouns in that, right? So if you are, say, a coordinator to an event and you're writing to somebody, there is no choice but to say that you are the one to be contacted for clarification, right? So in such cases, we cannot avoid the use of personal pronouns. Objective tone otherwise means that you do not bring in personalized elements into your writing, right? You need to keep it more, you don't have a space to say things like, how are you? Hello, how are you doing? I hope everything is fine with you. This kind of personalized language is very much discouraged in professional emails and letters. It does not directly mean that you are barred from using personal pronouns as such. Okay. Now, where does this apply more when we talk about personal pronouns and then usage? So you're writing a report, right? Or you're making a presentation to a company or anything, say a client. In such cases, the preferred method is to use the third person, right? So instead of saying I or we, you can say the company. Okay. So that is what we meant by keeping the tone objective, and particularly with reference to the usage of personal pronouns. Got it? In emails and letters where you have to have some sort of personalized communication, because it's, ideally a one-on-one communication, or sometimes even one-to-many. Okay. And both one-to-one and one-to-many here means people. If you're addressing them, then there is no other way but to use these pronouns, right? That's what we meant by that.
Okay,
so don't get confused.
So objective tone should be used in professional communication whenever.
Yeah, in all kinds of formal writing, the objective tone is what is recommended to be used. Okay. And it simply means that you do not bring in any personal anecdotes or, stories or narratives which are irrelevant to what you're writing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing, ma'am. There was a sentence that goes as follows: the council would need to finalize the task sheet.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. In that, they are saying would is used to express politeness.
What is the
would? The verb
would. Yes. Okay. All right.
Would is used in this sentence to express politeness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a polite usage of would?
Yes. It's a politeness expression because you can also say the council will meet, right? That's also possible. right? Or the council could meet. There are many other possible expressions in that, but the usage of could and would in formal writing automatically makes it a politeness, an expression of politeness. Okay, they also have a function of being used in that context. They have their own meaning. All of them.
Okay, can we straight away say that whenever would is used, it sounds polite?
Straight away say in the sense, no, that is contextual, right? In case if it is referring to a future time, then you will use a different modal verb there. But in this context,
but we studied that. But we studied that would never carries tense marker.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what is the purpose of would? It is always polite, right?
It is used also as a modal verb. It has two functions. One, when you use it in the context of, say, a hypothetical situation, you're talking about an imaginary or unreal situation, then the modal verb would come to usage, especially in subjunctive mode. I don't know if mode was a part of your syllabus for English 1, but it is directly related to. Okay, but you had modal verbs, no? As long as you've had a class in modal verbs, it's not difficult to understand mode. Okay, so would is used as a modal verb in situations that are hypothetical and unreal. When you have to talk about, if I were you, I would have done the following thing. You know, those kind of statements. So such imaginary, unreal, hypothetical situations use would as the modal verb.
Right.
But a second usage of would is also to be used as a polite expression, right? In polite expressions.
Okay.
Okay. So yes. Until and unless your context is specified otherwise, it is mostly used as a politeness. But when it is used in hypothetical, unreal, imaginary situations, then it has the function of a modal verb. Okay. I mean, it indicates the modality of imaginariness or unrealness, etc.
Okay, so it mostly has two functions. One is to indicate the modality as whatever you explained, and the other one is to show politeness.
Yes, exactly.
But we should never take granted that it will be a future.
You should not.
No, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have to go by the context and decide which one goes for that. Okay.
Yeah. Ma'am, I have one more question.
Sure.
Is there anyone who's used? Yeah. Okay, I'll get it.
Please go ahead. Please
there is one. Yes, ma'am. There is one more question in graded assignment which I could not do. They asked that which among the following is not a function of supporting sentence?
Supporting sentences, yes.
Yeah, supporting sentences, we studied that the topic sentence will give the main idea and the supporting sentences will just elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Okay, the options were explain, justify, and reinforce.
Reinforce, yes.
Yeah, I feel like justify and reinforce and explain, all the three sound same. I mean, all the three sound same, to serve the same purpose.
No. Justify and reinforce don't mean the same. Okay, justification require it's another way of saying elaboration. Okay, when somebody says justify, it says elaborate with reasons. Okay, that's what justify means. So even if it is elaborate or reasons, it's a part of supporting sentences. When you say reinforce, it does not have the baggage of proving or elaborating anything. You're simply restating. Another word for reinforcing is restate. Okay. You are not
restate.
Restate, yes. And that when you're restating something, you don't have the baggage of proving it. You just have to, in a sense, repeat what you have already said. That's all. Okay.
Okay. Does this reinforce? Is it not in the context that reinforce means like to strengthen?
To strengthen.
We use. No, we use reinforce in the context of strengthening something, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
that does not become a part of supporting sentences. As per the structure of the paragraph writing, restating something means there is the claim made, the claim has been sufficiently proven or elaborated upon, and now you restate what is being originally claimed, and that anything that restates or reinforces has to be a part of the conclusion, right? That is how in writing elements are structured. Okay, your ideas are structured within the larger writing methods, and particularly within the paragraph, as to begin with the topic sentence where you declare and state your purpose, then you go ahead and elaborate or add or prove or any other words that mean the same using the supporting sentences, and you restate what has been already stated in the topic sentence in order to conclude what you have written.
I
Okay.
understood as reinforce would definitely mean something like strengthening, maybe with additional information or something.
No,
So
okay,
I
don't go too, by the words and all that. You cannot restate something without having stated it already and proven it, right? That's the idea that is being used. Okay, reinforcement means something already existed and there has been sufficiently good data to have proven that claim. And now you're restating it just to, tell the reader that, yeah, this is what our conclusion is. Okay, so we restate what we've already been discussing for a while now. Right? That's the structure of writing. That's how you do it. You will have to have some sort of a repetition and reinforcement. Don't look at it from the law point of view or rules point of view. This is a writing mechanics that you use to give structure to whatever you have written. Okay.
I understand.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. No problem. Anybody else? Any questions? Archit, Divyam, Jivraj, Preeti, Pushpanjali, any one of you, any questions or any doubts that you have? No? So next week is the exam, right? 11th of December?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's Sunday.
I see. All right. How are your preparations coming along? Okay, talking about which, I think the documents that have been used for the Learn the Rope sessions would be uploaded by now in the supplementary tab for English 1. You can access it from there. The one that I used for the last week and the one that I'll use for this week on Tuesday, they'll be immediately uploaded. So you can have a look at them as well. Right. Just for your information, I'm told that it is uploaded, so you should be able to access it as well. If not, please write to the support team in case you're the only one who's not able to access. Those materials will be a good practice case for you for the exam, since they've covered almost all the major topics, the important topics for the exams. And that by no means, I don't mean to indicate that, if you're done with just that, you will be good to go for the exam. Of course, there's an equal weightage for all the sections, all the modules that have been covered. You'll have to have a look at it. But if you're done with your revisions or if you're clear on the topics, then some of these questions would help you to do a little better in the exam, right? They could be good practice sessions. Okay. Anything else? Anything at all that you want to ask? Yeah, please.
Related to stress patterns, we studied that nouns and adjectives take stress on the first syllable, and verbs and prepositions mostly take stress on the second syllable, in a disyllable word. Yeah, but I have come across an exception with the word August. When it is used as, it can be used both as a noun and an adjective, right?
August?
Yes. I've seen in some of the sentences, they have referred to it as August gathering.
August gathering, it's used as an adjective, right? I don't think it has as a usage as noun or noun. Yes, when it is used as the name of the month. Name of right? Month.
Yes.
No, it's not used as a verb. It's used as an adjective.
Right, noun and adjective. It can be used as a noun and adjective. When it is being used as a noun, it is taking stress on the first syllable. That is on the sound at the very beginning, which goes as per our learning. But when it is in the case of adjective, it is taking the stress on the second syllable. It is August, as I learned.
Okay. Oh, so see, that's right. I get your point. But see, these are some of the words which may not have agreement on where the stress falls. Okay, so even with respect to pronunciation, some people would say August, okay, and somebody would say the August, okay. So these things you can, leave behind if there are exceptional cases. Did it appear in the exam paper anywhere? Just for, to know, because I'm not aware if it has been
Doubt
put
regarding
anywhere.
syllable only.
No, just
I
a
think
minute.
it
Can
has
I,
appeared.
let us finish?
Yes.
I think it has appeared in some paper. I'm not sure from where I got it. Maybe yes. But when I came across, okay, people can say that there are many exceptions to stress patterns, but obviously when we are learning, we should have some rules, right? Put forward rules only that we can identify that.
So if there are exceptions, see, the problem with stress is that it works mostly by intuition, and this is only for 20% of the words that you see. Okay, 80% of the words will follow every rule that has been taught to you, and since 80% is a huge number, you cannot ignore the stress rules and say that this is intuition, so it's okay. We cannot mark it through the rule. The only thing I can tell you is that usually we do not give words that are, that do not align with the rules that has been taught to you. Okay. And in case if any of that thing comes to our notice, then we do what is required at the end. Okay. We usually do not take it up for marking or valuation. With respect to stress, it is a little tough because there are many words which even say the quote unquote native speakers will also have problems with, okay, where there is no agreement or no consensus on where the stress falls. The only thing we can do is not ask you anything that doesn't fall within the 80%, and we try to keep that up. In case you find anything like that, you can always write to us and we'll look at it. Okay.
Okay.
Somebody else was saying
Yes,
something. I'm sorry, I had to stop you because she was already speaking. Something about syllables.
Yes, teacher. Teacher, in quiz 2, I think we had got television. And
Syllable division?
in the rules, we have seen that television is a noun also. And in the rules, we have seen that with words ending with ion, S-I-U-N, we take...
No. So see, look at the word vision. Even if you take, so television here we are taking as a one word, right? This is formed by blending. It's a full one word. It's used as a one word in English. Now, the part that you're talking about, shin suffix, right? Is it a suffix in this word? Whatever you see as which is articulated as shin at the end of the word television, is that a suffix? By which I mean, can you divide this word? Can you divide this word?
No.
No, right? So only in the cases where the words are divisible or they can be broken into, their parts as a root word and a suffix, does this rule apply? If the thing that you listen at the end, no matter how it sounds, how much it sounds similar to shin or shill or anything, if it is not a suffix, then your rule of stress on the penultimate syllable does not apply here. Get this point? Okay, so given that television is here then a noun, and noun takes the stress on the first syllable. That's how the rule worked. Okay. In case shin was a suffix, then the rule of stress on the penultimate syllable would apply. But in this case, it is not the thing, right? It is, you cannot divide television. It's not possible. Or say at least the last part of vision is not something that is divisible. It's one word.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, this is for everybody who's listening. All right. Please keep in mind about this part when you're looking for syllable division. You have to make sure that, especially for stress and all, make sure that you're, when you're dealing with the suffix rules for stress marking, right? Make sure your word is a divisible one, by which I mean they should be, you must be able to divide them into the root word and the suffix or the prefix. Prefix is fine since they do not mostly participate in the stress. That's all right. But suffixes, some of them can cause shift in stress patterns. So please be careful about this. See if your word is, if it is possible for the word to be divided into the root word and the suffix. If that is possible, then yes. If not, then none of the rules that you discuss will be applicable there. You will have to most probably look at the word class and then decide the stress. Okay. Please be a little about this one, and also derived words. Okay. The ones that say the ones that are derived from root words and become, say, something that becomes a noun later or something that becomes an adjective later. When you have derivatives from each other, then be a little careful in words like that about the stress that they take. Okay.
Ma'am, I need some clarity on clause and phrase identification. I'm not able to identify which is a clause and which is a phrase. Can you just
A
quickly give
clause
some
will always have a subject and verb predicate of its own. Okay. Whereas a phrase will not. Phrase usually doesn't have a subject or a predicate. It's not a full meaning sentence. Clause will always have a subject and predicate of its own. Okay. Another word for a sentence is actually a more.
Your voice broke.
Sorry?
Your voice broke. We are not able to hear.
Okay. Yeah, I just said that clause is another, it's a, technical word that you use to refer to a sentence, essentially. So,
okay, in the consider this sentence.
Whatever makes the sentence is also a clause.
The mangoes which are yellow
Yes, go ahead.
are sweet. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, the mangoes which are sweet, which are yellow are sweet.
You are audible. What about the sentence?
I think there is some lag between our conversations. That's okay. In this, we identify one adjectival clause.
What's the question, Darshni?
Yeah. Which are yellow. This is the adjectival clause, right? Hello, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I got disconnected.
Yes.
So, what was your question? Which are yellow?
The mangoes which are yellow are sweet. This is a sentence, and this has an adjectival clause, right? Which are yellow.
Correct.
Why do we say that it is a clause? Why not a phrase?
No. Because why do we say it is a clause and not a phrase? Because it is a part of the larger clause there. Look at it. The mango which are yellow.
Right.
Okay.
But this part as such doesn't have a subject and predicate. I mean subject and object verb and all, right? Then why does it qualify to be a clause? Ma'am, you are not audible.
Yes.
Just now, your voice is audible. Earlier, we didn't hear you at all.
Okay, I'm trying to move on to a different system. Might happen till then. Just bear with me until then. I was saying that which are yellow is modifying the subject, right? And it's a part of that. It does not have an independent existence on its own in the sentence.
Right. It is dependent. Why is it not an adjectival phrase? Why is it an adjectival clause actually?
Why is it not an adjectival phrase? See, actually, this more than an adjectival we called a relative, because relative clause functions like an adjectival clause. You also call them like that. Okay. What is an adjectival phrase? You cannot call it a phrase until you have a proper phrase there. Which are yellow. Okay. For something to be an phrase, a noun in it. Do you have any noun in that which are yellow? Yellow is an adjective here.
Yellow.
Anything else
Okay.
in the phrase, like whatever you're saying as phrase or something,
No.
which are
No,
yellow,
we don't have any other noun.
this qualification happen. Right. So then it cannot be an adjectival phrase. Even otherwise, this is connected directly to the subject in the sentence. It's a part of that. Okay. If you dissect the sentence, you have the mangoes, which are yellow. What is it? Which are yellow is sweet. Huh?
The mangoes which are yellow are sweet.
Okay.
Yes.
Which are yellow are sweet. So R is the verb in the sentence. Okay. Sweet is the adjective, and that whole part, the mangoes which are yellow, is the subject.
Right.
Right. So essentially, this part which are yellow is connected to the subject part. It does not have a independent existence of its own. Okay. So then it is a subordinate clause, right? And what kind of a subordinate clause? An adjectival clause. This cannot be a phrase because there's no noun to refer to. It's only the adjective.
Okay.
Right. So you can't call it an adjectival phrase.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Any other questions? Archit and Jivraj? No, there's just 3 of you here. Am I audible to you? Just
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
okay. All right. Yeah, Archit, Jivraj, you guys have any question?
No, ma'am.
No? All right. And Rajalakshmi,
And
any
ma'am,
other questions?
what exercise are we going to do in the next Learn the Rope session?
We will be covering the ones we did not do last time, but I think I will do a little bit
Your voice is not so
of
audible.
agreement. And is there anything else that
Okay.
okay, we'll do articles as well.
Okay.
Is it the same for everyone?
Now it resumes.
Because
It goes on and off.
okay. So yeah, phrasal verbs, agreements, articles mostly. Okay.
Yes.
Did you hear me or was I cut off again?
Yes, no, ma'am. Now it's fine.
Okay. Okay, if no more questions, then we'll close the session since we're live streaming, and if you don't have any questions, then we can close it.
Yes,
Okay.
we can close.
Okay, thanks a lot for coming in. We'll have one more session before your exam next week, same time. We'll talk again if it is necessary and if you have any questions to ask. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
All right. See you. Yeah. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining in. See you. Take care.